Hey there! Hi everybody! National Vlogging Day. Wanted to share something with you that I do for my family, and it's something that I absolutely love. No secret that I love cooking, and I'm going to show you how I make one of the easiest dishes that I put together for my family, and I make it often for when we have guests over as well. Everybody tends to love it. It is a panned seared chicken with a garlic and mushroom cream sauce. I know it sounds kind of, I guess, elegant or extravagant. It's not. It's super easy. Little prep work associated with it, and very few ingredients as well. All right, let me tell you about the ingredients. Of course, you're going to need chicken. That is the main ingredient in the dish. I tend to use chicken breasts. Get a full chicken breast and then fillet it in half. Cut it in half. Lengthwise, it makes it easier to cook, and the cooking time is less on the individual pieces of chicken. Also, I think it becomes much more tender. You're going to need some type of mushroom. You can have whatever one you want. If you want to do button mushrooms, white mushrooms, brown mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, you can do that. The key is just the reduction of them, and then that is going to add color to your dish. You're going to need 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. From one head you can probably get about 10 to 12 cloves. So you're going to take maybe a quarter to a third of that. You're going to dice it finely. You're going to need olive oil. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, so 4 pats of butter. You're going to need 1 pint of heavy whipping cream, and then your seasonings are going to be salt, pepper, and thyme. A heaping half teaspoon of those each, a little bit of olive oil as well. Now, the onion that you're going to need, this is important, is a shallot. You're not going to use a yellow onion. You're not going to use a red onion. It's because yellow onion it really brings too much sweetness to the dish, and you don't want that. A red onion brings a little bit of heartiness, even an ounce of bitterness. You don't want that. Shallot is the perfect onion because it's kind of muted in its taste, and I find it works perfect for this dish. Shallots are super cheap. You can buy 3 shallots for $1 at your local grocery store. Okay, bring 2 pans up to heat. How do you know if your pans are up to heat? Drop a little bit of water in them, and if they start to sizzle off and bubble, that's one way. Also, there's another way. You see steam and smoke coming from this one in the back. That's the one that I'm going to be cooking the chicken on. You know that that one is nice and hot. Prepping the chicken is super easy. I use Lawry's seasoning salt and olive oil. I coat it on both sides. I'm going to show you how to make it, a small dish, but I'm making this for my family and then probably to have some leftovers for the week too. So I took 4 whole chicken breasts, sliced them in half. So these are 8 half chicken breasts, looking delicious. All right, get yourself a set of tongs. Chicken breasts are about to go into the pan. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear the sizzle when you pop them in. Now, leave them alone. Let them sit there for about 2.5, 3 minutes browning on a side. Don't worry about them burning. That's what the olive oil is there for. It'll create a nice crust. And then we flip them, give them 2.5, 3 minutes on the other side. Okay, while the chicken is cooking, you're going to take your pats of butter, get them into the pan, right? We have the pan that we are cooking the sauce on a lower heat than we have the pan that is cooking the chicken on. We're going to be cooking multiple pieces of chicken as we continue to reduce this sauce. So you can see the settings that we have on our range here. That is for the chicken in the back, and then that is for the sauce up front. We want to melt this butter, no browning on it. And another way that we assure that the butter does not burn, we drop our olive oil in there too. That's going to assure that the butter does not get brown, get too burnt or steamy. We don't want any of that. All right, also, here's our items that I chopped up already. Here is our shallot, and here is our chopped garlic. I showed you a little bit ago in the prep how I was chopping both of those. Once this is bubbling, drop it on in. You want to hear a little bit of a sizzle with it. And we're going to bring that to a nice caramel brown color. All right, we're looking at about 2.5, 3 minutes now on these. Let's check how they cook. That's exactly what you want to see. That's how you want the chicken to look when you flip it. 2.5 more minutes, 3 minutes on this side now, and then we're going to get them into this glass cooking dish, and we'll just let them rest there. All right, onions and garlic are just about where we need them to be. Getting real close to adding the mushroom and our seasonings. Chicken should be good to go. Let's show both sides. That looks beautiful. Let's show that one. That's looking good too. So, okay, get these ones out of there into our glass dish. And the second we do that, more chicken can go right into the pan. Again, we're doing two things at once here with the sauce and with the chicken. Here's our seasonings: salt, thyme, pepper, as I told you, equal parts of each. Heaping half tablespoons, all getting dropped right there in the middle. I'm going to take my tongs and stir that in. And then right on top of that go our mushrooms. And these mushrooms are going to soak up all of that butter, all of that oil, and they're going to reduce themselves because they've got a lot of water in them. And it's going to make almost like a cream of its own. You'll see how this looks in about 5 to 7 minutes. Again, constantly moving this around too, so one side does not get more done than the others with the mushrooms. So this is what I was talking about, how the mushrooms begin to soak in all of that oil and that butter. You see how much was in there before and how little is in there right now. And the mushrooms themselves in the middle of the pan are starting to give off some of their moisture. The browning is good because we're going to put in a cream sauce with it, and you'll see the browning of that makes the sauce a little bit tan, and when we reduce it, the color of the sauce is how we know it's ultimately done. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You see the mushrooms are getting done. They're getting softer. No different than when you eat mushrooms on a pizza. They're soft and they're chewy. That's when you know that they're finished and they taste delicious. That browning is a good thing. We're going to be adding our cream sauce here in just a minute. We need a break for cuteness. This is Chew, our cat. Chew is awesome. All right, our mushrooms are where we want them to be. Again, the entire time we're doing that, we continue to pan sear our chicken. We've got 4 half chicken breasts ready to go. By the time that these mushrooms are done and this reduction sauce is good, we will have 10 of the half chicken breasts good to go. Time now to add our cream, and I add the full thing, the whole pint of this heavy cream. That's 16 fluid ounces going in there. And now we begin the process of reducing. We're going to stir all of this together. And we reduce, and we reduce, all while the chicken cooks. In the end, we're going to reduce this sauce probably for a good 12 to 15 minutes. Take a look right now at how it looks, and wait till you see the finished product. Here we are. Here is our finished product, and I don't know if you can see the color that that has taken on. And you remember back how it was, how white it was. It is not that anymore. It is just this beautiful taupe, almost a caramel color. Another way you can see if it's done right, start to the edge here, drag in. You see how that left a line there? I can see the bottom of the pan. See how that works like that? It isn't watery. It isn't just immediately going in. It's taking a couple tenths of a second for the liquid to fill that spot that I just dragged away from. Let me show you a little closer look there. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So that is when you know that the sauce is done. Okay. Okay, so we just finished up putting the sauce on top of the chicken as our last piece of chicken breast cooks. I've taken the others and put them to the side. This is what it should look like. We're gonna let that sit, we're gonna let that rest, let those flavors come together just for a second. I'm gonna put together a couple sides. I'm gonna show you a super easy way that you can serve your family and impress your guests. It doesn't take a lot of work at all. I made some white rice yesterday. Put it in a ramekin, microwaved it for 1 minute. It's hot. I made some Green Giant steamed Brussels sprouts. Just steamed them in the bag. Nothing crazy fancy. And now we're going to get the chicken and put it on the plate and wait till you see what the finished product looks like. A little bit more of those mushrooms and sauce. And that's what you're presenting to your family and guests. And now here's the best part. We did all of this to enjoy it and see how everything turned out. Chicken looking perfect. Sauce beautiful. Let's get a little sauce on the rice as well. Outstanding. Make it for your family today. Took me 35-40 minutes to cook it. Probably going to take me far less than that to eat it.